Simple tip for walking, I see this a lot, is a stiffness in the chest, which leads to stiffness in the neck and the head, neck, and chest all moving as one single unit. So when that's the pattern that a person has when they walk, there's very little movement in this region. Instead, if they're swinging their arms at all, most of the arm swing is coming from the shoulder joint, which can be a problematic issue if a person has any kind of rotator cuff issues, but it's also just not an efficient way to be. So start just by putting your fingers on your chest and just feel around the sternum and move the elbows forward. Just do that a few times, elbows forward. Really move the elbows forward so they go in front of your midline. And as you feel the elbows go forward, you feel the rounding that occurs in the back, the shoulder blades pulling apart. In the front, you feel the collarbones folding a little bit. So now initiate the movement by pulling the chest backwards first, right? So chest goes back and then the elbows go forward. So lead with the chest. Lead with the chest. Feel the ribs spreading apart and widening. In the back, folding together in the front. My tailbone and my pelvis are going to kind of tuck a little bit as I do this. Right, you could breathe into it. Breathe into the back just to go a little wider, or you could exhale. Right, and just feel the difference. Roll the shoulders a few times just to feel those shoulder blades, collarbones relative to the ribs. You can go slow, you can go fast. And then turn the arms opposite. Really get a nice rotation so that you feel like you can get some tilting in the shoulder blade as well. So you feel the movement in the shoulder joint, shoulder blade, collarbone, and some ribs. And you'll also notice that there's some weight shifting going on. And then just walk around a little bit. See how it feels. Just do that for a little bit. You can pause the video here. And then I'll just give you one more little sequence of things you could practice. Welcome back. Now what we're going to do is try 3 different patterns of turning the head. One's going to be the head turning by itself. How does that feel? 2 is going to be the head going with the chest, right? So no differentiation between the head and the shoulders. And the 3rd is going to be opposite. Right, practice each of those 3 ways and then add some variation to it by considering where do you initiate the movement. You can initiate from the front of your head. You can initiate from the back of your head. It feels different depending on where you initiate. You can initiate from the front of your chest. You can initiate from the back of your chest. You can imagine that you're surrounded by liquid. So you're moving through liquid. Feel one side go into the liquid, the other side move back from the liquid. So it's kind of like you're pushing water, creating a wave. Feel how that awareness of space behind you or in front of you gives you a little better sense of the structures within inside you. Right, so after you do that, see how your walking feels. Just walk naturally and see if you pick up a little bit more movement of the shoulders, the chest, the shoulder blades relative to the head. And if you want to try to voluntarily control it, you can. But if you first start to try to control your arm swing with your walking, most likely it's not going to feel natural. So it just has to kind of start to occur naturally, and then you can start to observe the walking more subconsciously to allow for the system to recalibrate. And then I would encourage you to check in with yourself several times a day when you're out walking. If this is a pattern that you find you exhibit, if you find that you're tense like this, so it's not just for walking, it's also for just standing, working in the kitchen, interacting with people, just learning to let go of the chest relative to the head so that our neck muscles or upper shoulder muscles, chest, everything can relax a bit. You'll feel much better if you can accomplish this.